Thank you very much. Welcome to Tonightly. My name is Tom Ballard. Great show for you Tuesday night. Later on, I'm going to be chatting with the guy who took one of these, an Opal card, and took the chip and put it in his goddamn hand. Transhumanist biohacker Meow-Ludo Disco Gamma Meow-Meow will be here, everyone. Looking forward to chatting one transhumanist biohacker to another. It'll be good. First up, bad news for the ABC today.
There'll be limited coverage of Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull's visit to Nauru later this year, with the Pacific nation banning the ABC from entering the country. The Nauruan government says it will not grant visas to ABC employees, accusing the national broadcaster of biased reporting and political interference.
Oh, what? Come on, Nauru! Not being invited to something hurts! Whether it's the Pacific Islands Forum or Ben Stevens' after party for the Year 10 formal. Come on, Ben! You had like 100 people there. You told me it was cancelled! Anyway, that's all in the past now. The Nauru government said the ban was due to the biased and false reporting from the ABC about Nauru. ABC bias? What's your angle here, Nauru? Are you trying to get a job at the Australian? God! And Nauru does seem to have some cause to be a little bit shirty at auntie. Just last week, the ABC had to issue an apology for a 2016 Lateline piece about the Nauruan Justice Minister. But the ABC did not have to apologise for this 2016 piece about Nauru's lost wealth, which detailed, and I really do have to stress that this is absolutely true, the Nauruan government lost a whole lot of money in the 90s investing in a West End musical about the life and times of Leonardo da Vinci. And that musical was written by one of Nauru's financial advisors. Come on, people, it's a musical about watching paint dry, written by a financial advisor. How is it not a hit? Here's one of the songs. I'm Leonardo da Vinci, and I'm painting the Mona Lisa, inventing a helicopter. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, the point is, this is the national broadcaster being denied entry into a country that is hosting an event with our Prime Minister there. That's an outrage. When another country tries to tell our press what it can and can't do, well, my friends, that is when our top dog goes in to bat for us.
Well, clearly, regret. It'll be regrettable if the ABC is not there.
Thanks, Malcolm. Nailed it. Well, screw you, Nauru. We didn't even want to go to your stupid thing anyway. Didn't even want to go to Ben's party. Who gives a shit? And you don't even need to send the ABC to go cover Malcolm Turnbull walking around Nauru. We already know what that's going to look like. Hello, everyone. Hey, everyone good? How's it all going? Honestly, there's never been a more exciting time to be indefinitely detained. That's what I'm saying. Oh, my, you're quite small, aren't you? Oh, you're a child. I see. Jolly good. Oh, I love these ocean views. Reminds me of Point Piper. Fantastic. Well, I'm off home, unlike you. Goodbye. Just thought that might be how it would go. A lot of sports news to unpack. You know what that means, everyone? Time for our Logie Award-winning sports segment. It's Cup This! Nailed it. Now, usually in this beloved segment, we cover World Cups of the football variety, but tonight, something else.
A wild brawl has erupted during Australia's Basketball World Cup qualifier against the Philippines.
A shove on Chris Goulding was all it took to kick things off.
In fact, the other way is... It's all happening now. Oh! And this has got wild.
The scuffle has been called one of the ugliest moments in Australian sporting history.
Bloody hell, the Aussies are punching on! I haven't seen boomers this angry since there were moves to dump negative gearing. I'm Leonardo da Vinci. Personally, I've never seen anything like this on a basketball court. Also, I've never watched basketball. I've never watched basketball, even I know that this is weird.
As the fighting stopped, the referees were left to work out who was to blame, while the Filipino team took selfies.
Oh my God! Selfies! Just bashed an Australian. Whoop. In Soccer World Cup news, it's getting down to the pointy end of the tournament over in Russia. Big game tonight between England and Colombia. Here at Tonightly, we've been more excited by the great work of Achilles the cat, everyone. Oh. Russian-born psychic cat who has correctly predicted the result of every single World Cup pool match in the 2018 World Cup. Every single match, everybody. How about that? That's pretty good. That is until a few days ago, Achilles the cat incorrectly predicted that Nigeria would beat Argentina, but there's no reason to be alarmed, as this Russian man explains.
He made a mistake 2 days ago, but that happens. He is a cat.
He is a cat, everyone. You gotta take it easy because he's a cat. He doesn't know how the offside rule works. Fuck, I don't know how the offside rule works. And I'm not a cat. This year, there are heaps of animals taking a punt.
Davey the Quokka is at it again. This time he's predicted the Socceroos and France will make it through Group C to the World Cup finals in Russia.
The latest in a long line of psychic animals has some good news, with this goat predicting a draw for the Socceroos in the upcoming World Cup match.
Tune in, German World Cup fans can breathe a sigh of relief after a polar bear oracle predicted a victory for the team.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Ooh. Sorry. Sadly, not all animals are loving their newfound celebrity status as soccer psychics. In Japan, Rabiot the octopus correctly predicted all 3 of Japan's pool matches, and things were going swimmingly until news broke today that despite Rabiot's mad World Cup predictive skills, the 8-armed oracle has been chopped up and eaten! It was an open basket funeral, and rest in pieces. Rabiot the octopus, you sweet, tender, deep-fried bar snack. Oh, delicious. He was so young. Jokes aside, here at Tonightly, we've actually been putting together our own team of psychic animals to work on the World Cup. I've got to be honest, it's been mixed results. Bessie the sheep was our best performer. Loved Bessie. She was fantastic. Correctly predicted Australia's loss to France and the draw with Denmark. Unfortunately, however, she did luck out on the Australia-Peru match, so we did have to let her go, unfortunately. Yeah, you didn't predict that, did you, fuckers? I think we also had Frank the cow here as well. No good. That's Kathy the chicken as well. Sammy the spatchcock as well, which all looks delicious. And, of course, you know, Terry the rat. Terry the rat, everyone. Rest in peace. Thanks for playing. Let's cut this. Here's some news for you, everyone. During this season of Tonightly, there are going to be a few episodes when I'm not hosting. Really hurtful. This week, our Thursday and Friday shows will be co-hosted by Tonightly reporters Bridie Connell and Greta Lee Jackson, everybody! Tune in for that. Then, presumably on Saturday morning, I'll be made redundant. Now, if you've been on the internet in the past week, you might have heard about this.
It's a new term recently coined on social media. Some call it charisma and others would say swagger. But on the internet, they're calling it big dick energy.
Julia Baird, ABC News, I'm better than this. BDE, or Big Dick Energy, ain't all bad though. TheCut.com defined it as a certain gait, sort of like you've got a massive dick swinging around, but also a twinkle in the eye. Like if you look right at that twinkle, you can see a dick swinging in the eye. Yes, just like that well-known phrase, when you were a twinkle of a dick swinging in your father's eye. Of course, it wasn't long before someone had an issue with the BDE concept. The Guardian characterised the concept as a phallic rebrand of charisma, and a Sydney Morning Herald writer said she'd had enough of the celebration of all things male. Now, I don't know what to think here, okay? Obviously, this new phrase, it's hot and with the kids and they're into it, but then I don't want it to be bad. I want to be as woke as humanly possible. Fortunately, the ABC has created a new role to ensure all its staff are woke at all times. Would you please welcome the ABC wokesperson, Nina Oyama, everybody? Hello, Nina.
Hello.
You are the ABC wokesman, and
It's actually wokesperson, Tom.
Wokesperson, sorry, yes, okay, I forgot that. What's your take on this recent meme? What's that noise you're making? Yes, that one!
Oh, that's just a physical reaction I have to offensive behaviours.
What offensive behaviours? All I said was recent meme.
Not recent, Tom. It's from a week ago. In woke years, that's basically the 1970s.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, what do you think about the meme Big Dick Energy?
Don't say that. It's offensive.
What, Big Dick Energy?
Yeah, it's not inclusive.
Not inclusive of women?
Yes, of women and non-binary people and people with tiny dicks.
All right, well, what's your preferred alternative for Big Dick Energy?
Big or small genitalia positivity or in between or whatever and radical warm acceptance safe place energy.
That sounds stupid and made up.
Tom, are you a part of the big or small genitalia positivity or in between or whatever and radical warm acceptance safe space energy community?
Well, no, I'm not. But compared to Big Dick Energy, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? Oh.
Tom, the word ring is actually very offensive to deaf people.
What?
You know, not all people know what a ring sounds like. Have you ever thought about that?
No, I haven't. Okay, I guess I'm hearing you. I understand it.
Tom, exactly. Hearing's a luxury.
Oh, fucking hell.
Look, how you interpret big dick energy all comes down to how you identify yourself. Are you a woman?
No, I'm not a woman.
Do you identify as non-binary?
No, I'm gay.
Tom, that's offensive to gay people.
What are these rules? I do have a small dick.
Whoa! wasn't going to ask. Look, I have to head off now. I have to actually remind Elma Aberici not to say the N-word on TV, so there you go.
Nina Oyama, everybody. Well, friends, speaking of dick energy, Senator David Leyonhjelm. Last week, he said some silly things about someone in Parliament, and it's all going really well for him.
Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young says comments about her from rival politician David Leyonhjelm amount to slut-shaming. In Parliament last week, Senator Leyonhjelm told Senator Hanson-Young to stop shagging men before using a TV interview to suggest she was sexually promiscuous.
Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young has called in lawyers in her dispute with David Leyonhjelm. Senator Leyonhjelm has refused to apologise.
Oh, he hasn't just refused to apologise. No. David Leyonhjelm is like this KFC burger. He's doubled down. Also, he's disgusting. Following what happened in Parliament, Liam issued a statement in response.
In a statement, he said Ms Hanson-Young was suggesting all men are rapists and that he responded that if this was the case, she should stop shagging men. I did not yell at her.
Yeah, guys, stop being so judgy. He didn't yell at her. When he told his parliamentary colleague to stop shagging men, he did it at a reasonable volume. Unlike you women being all shrill all the time. Am I right, fellas? No. Thanks, lads.
But Mr Leyonhjelm won't say sorry. Instead, he's prepared to rephrase comments. I strongly urge Senator Hanson-Young to continue shagging men as she pleases.
Thanks, Senator. Meanwhile, I urge you to go fuck yourself. That was all last week, but the outrage has really kicked up a notch when Senator Leyonhjelm repeated and defended his comments on Sky News on the weekend and on 7:30 last night. You see, the Senator is adamant that his comments were in response to Senator Hanson-Young's supposedly equally appalling comments. He just can't remember exactly what those comments were.
You've said that you can't exactly remember what she said.
And do I have
and you give me words to the effect that range across a number of different scenarios.
Do I have to remember every word precisely for it to be true?
In order to justify a pretty strong comment, yeah, I reckon you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't reckon I don't, which means I reckon I do. Damn it! On Q&A last night, Australian Conservative Senator and Leyonhjelm ally, Cory Bernardi, weighed in.
Are you comfortable with what he said?
Well, I think the world, or Australia, recognises that it's probably inappropriate. But having said that,
what do you think, though?
Well, I've heard worse things said in the Senate.
I agree, Corey. This one time in the Senate, I heard a dude try to link same-sex marriage with bestiality. It was the worst! You guys weren't aware of that? It's a real shame. What else you got, Corey?
What about when it happens when Sarah Hanson-Young roars the most revolting things at people, and I've asked her to withdraw them in the Senate? Hang on, I'm not going to repeat them on the ABC. I know it might be okay for Tom Ballard and things to do it.
Hello! TV show, Tom Ballard and Things. Yay! Why the hell are you bringing me into this, Corey? I don't have to uphold the same standard of public discourse as senators in the Australian Federal Parliament. You know why? I'm a dumb, stupid, idiot comedian who regularly does things like this, for God's sakes. I am, how you say, a dumb cunt. That's who I am. I'm sorry. I apologise for that disgusting language. Let's raise the tone of public debate. Am I right, Labor MP Catherine King?
Look, I think Senator Leyonhjelm's been a complete and utter dick. I think that's the only one you can say.
Whoa now, Catherine! With a filthy mouth like that, you could get a job on Tom Ballard and Things. This saga isn't even over yet. Leyonhjelm has not only doubled down, this morning he said he won't even consider apologising until his list of apology conditions are met by Senator Hanson-Young. These are his demands. He's demanding that she announce publicly that men aren't collectively responsible for the actions of violent men, which he can't prove she said in the first place. That she accepts individuals are responsible for their actions and shouldn't blame others. Oh, yeah. David Leyonhjelm, don't you hate it when people do that? She has to support Leyonhjelm's motion that they were debating at the time when those comments were made, a motion that was defeated in the Senate 46 votes to 5. And he wants $100 million. Oh, sorry. No. I'm sorry, everyone. That's a silly photo. Yeah, that's the one we're after. That is 100% a real photo. Did not doctor that at all. I gotta say, friends, it's been a big week for men of a certain age saying shitty things. You had Leyonhjelm, Bert Newton making that weird Me Too reference joke thing at the Logies, footballer Barry Hall on Triple M radio making gross comments about a pregnant lady. What are we gonna do about these dudes? Well, luckily, there's a place these men can now go to get the help they so desperately need.
Cheers. Do you miss the good old days when you and your mates could objectify women publicly?
Oh, I like him.
And everyone would laugh?
We have a solution. Welcome to Do No Harm Farm, the retirement farm for men who make creepy comments. You've heard of putting them out to pasture. Well, we're putting them out to pester.
The Do No Harm Farm is the perfect environment for those who can't be put in jail but are finding it difficult to be functioning members of decent society.
We know it can be confusing when you're standing still and society is whizzing right past you. Here at the Do No Harm Farm, you can make as many sexist comments as you like, to each other.
I'd rather be hanging out of you than hanging out of an aeroplane.
I'll give you one, or even two.
Actually, that's just not funny.
I know. Our state-of-the-art facilities include soundproof booths where you can express yourself for hours where women can't hear you.
Stop shagging me! Stop shagging me!
And best of all, you'll still be able to play the field, meaning you'll have 2 hours free each day to roam in one of our fields.
In here, I'm surrounded by like-minded people who share my values. Away from society, I can slut-shame all I like. Thanks, Do No Harm Farm.
I like ticks.
There's no age limit. Whether you told some questionable jokes at the Logies or were just fired from radio, Do No Harm Farm is the place for you.
Do No Harm Farm, a farm for men who need to retire from society.
My guest tonight has an interesting name and an interesting way of looking at the world and the amount of technology we should be putting in our bodies.
A man who was fined $220 for travelling without a train ticket because his Opal card chip was implanted into his hand has had his conviction overturned. A district court judge said Meow-Ludo Disco Gamma Meow-Meow wasn't trying to avoid the fare and his case was highly unusual.
Is it worth it? Yeah, I look forward to the day that I can do this legally and that I'm not prosecuted for it.
Please welcome Meow-Ludo Disco Gamma Meow-Meow. Welcome, friend.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, man. Okay, now lots to talk to you about. Just straight out the bat, I don't want to get too personal. When you're having sex with someone, do they call out the whole name?
No, they just meow and purr a lot.
That's very cool. All right, now, as that news story suggested, you took one of these. This is an Opal card. This is the transport card system in New South Wales, in the city of Sydney specifically. You took the chip in this and you put it in your left hand so that you could get on public transport and swipe on with the chip. Why did you do that?
So the guy who engineered the actual chip for me, his name's Amor Grafstra. He was over talking about cyborg rights for the launch of a video game, and we were talking about different like low-hanging fruit in the implantable space, and we thought the easiest ones would be a credit card or a transport card. I already had one chip by this time, so you can...
What does that do?
You can have a look. You can feel this one.
Oh, this is gross! Oh, it moves a little bit.
Yeah, so it's about the size of a grain of rice, and at the moment this one has a link to a Facebook group called Goblin Hour. So,
But what do I do? How do I scan that and get to the Facebook group?
So you just take a phone, unlock it, and then if you just kind of like touch it towards the NFC scanner, it opens up. So I'm offline at the moment. But
or you could just go to a Facebook group.
Yeah. It's reprogrammable.
That's a sweet hack for me there.
I update it regularly depending on what I'm doing. So sometimes I'll put like a YouTube clip on there, or when I was running for politics, I had like vote 1 meow, so you like tap it and it brings up a little message. And I have my business card on this one, and then the famous Opal card is in the back, just behind my pinky.
Does it hurt when they put it in?
Yeah. It hurts for about a week afterwards too.
Oh yeah, just the week then.
But it's not too bad. If you've had a piercing before, it's about the same amount of pain.
Okay.
So the one that was done on the back of my thumb is just done with like a giant syringe.
Okay.
A syringe big enough to fit a grain of rice into it.
Lord! Now people hear this and I think, man, you are crazy. They might also look at your name and go, that guy's crazy. But it is amazing looking into it how much this is picking up. In Sweden, they generally have implants for the public transport system and it's going along. People implant cameras into their eyes as part of body tech. There's tattoos that can monitor your heart rate. We have a clip here. This is Mike Sealer. He's a biohacker from Brooklyn. Have a look at this.
I am probably the most electrically sensitive person in the world. I have 1/4-inch wide discs of neodymium covered in silicone installed down the tips of my fingertips. They allow me to feel magnetic fields, oscillating magnetic fields. So if I'm walking over the subway, I could feel the subway running underneath me. I could feel lampposts, telephones, microwave from 4 or 5 feet away.
That's stupid! Why do you want to feel a microwave?
Yeah, so I think magnet implants are kind of interesting. You can do some fun stuff. So I've heard that you can check fuses with it. You can feel for power cables behind a wall. So if you're about to drill in to put a picture up or something like that, you're not going to electrocute yourself. But supposedly the magnets are like the breakthrough implant. So a lot of my friends who are call themselves grinders talk about, especially Tim Cannon, is the
I have a lot of friends on Grindr too.
I'm sure you do. They like to put things inside the body.
Implanting, yes. It's a similar vibe.
So they say the magnet is the one that kind of makes you feel like you have a superpower.
Right.
And I got told, in fact, I got called I got called by an academic the man with the world's dumbest superpower. The ability to catch public transport without reaching into your pocket.
Well, it's low-hanging fruit, as you say, but, obviously talking about the future of the technology. You got into a bit of legal trouble because you didn't present the card and stuff, and anyway, that's just all basically sorted out now.
And underneath there, it's moving towards this thing which we call zero UX. So we talk about user experience, right? So we don't think much about pulling an Opal card out and then tapping it until you have your hands full. And then all of a sudden it does become a problem. So a lot of these implants are moving towards changing the way that we interact with all technology.
But you just don't like the annoyance of holding things?
I think it's cool, but like it's also convenient and useful, like on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we here at Tonight, we've been thinking about the future of biotech as well. Fantastic. And implants and stuff. We want to run some ideas by you that, maybe you could work on. You have a lab to work on this kind of stuff. Plastic bag ban happening at the moment, pissing a lot of people off, getting very annoyed. We were wondering, like, what if you, on your wrist, you could just sort of like shoot out plastic bags when you go to Woolies. What do you think of that?
I just take reusable bags, but I think boomers would love this.
Boomers would love this shit,
it's
yo!
Brilliant, yeah. Maybe I can like exchange it for a mortgage or something.
That's a good idea. Another idea, okay, what if you're like a senator, like David Leinhelm, who says a lot of dumb shit, you don't know when to shut up, bio-zipper, boom, sir!
I would have a lot of uses for that.
That would work out as well. What about, what if you're a confident person? You're a really confident person with, with a lot of confidence in your life, but you also care about the environment.
Okay.
So you can get solar panels installed just to fuel your big dick energy. That's kind of... Do you think... I like how it attacks to the nipples as well. That's good.
I think that solar probably isn't the best because it doesn't produce much energy. I think radioactive version of this would probably be what I would go for.
Jesus! You're an evil genius, sir!
And I love the environment. So.
That's amazing. Well, yes, you're running for the Science Party at the New South Wales state election next year. You ran against Anthony Albanese in the 2016 election for the lower house as well.
And also ran against Barnaby Joyce in the November election last year.
Oh my God!
Yeah, take on the big boys. So.
Yes. Yeah, that worked out well for everyone.
Hey, I gave them an alternative. I don't think they could have done much worse than what they got. So.
Well, what, are you going to take this stuff to the election, to the people of New South Wales?
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely be part of an overarching campaign. I'm really interested in us making policy that's kind of future-focused and based in data. So I think in New South Wales, probably the biggest thing is the quality of life for, millennial generation and younger. So, the Great Australian Dream kind of died. Menzies' Great Australian Dream of buying a house, having a 25-year job. And, this was done by Menzies because he wanted to have a stable society. So he said, if you have a house and a 25-year job, you're invested in the nation, you have a share. So what does it say when the current Liberal government, for example, takes that away from us and most people don't have a mortgage or a consistent job? What does that say from the government to us? It says that maybe they don't want a stable society or they don't think we have any stake. So I'm interested in how do we make just better quality of life generally for younger people in New South Wales.
Because you implant the chip and then you don't have to carry your coffee.
That's it.
That's good. Well, it is also your birthday today.
It is.
So we're going to finish up now, but just one last thing. We got your birthday card from Opal and there it is. Just says happy birthday there. Please thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Meow-Ludo Disco Gamma Meow-Meow. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. This Country's up next on ABC Comedy. Good night, Australia.